hey, I might not be very academically bright up here, but I'm very blessed to have 2 hands and 2 legs.
第一批花生酱出来的味道是怎样呢？就是
Because you learn from YouTube, isn't it? Hello Joseph, hello Debbie, 欢迎来到我们的 showroom. Welcome to our showroom here. And then today, thank you for making the time for the interview lah. So I will just jump into the question, okay? So we learned that you start your entrepreneur journey very early in life. I mean, just right after SPM. Can you just tell me how it all started lah?
When we first started, we didn't straight away jump into the business. We actually worked for about 1 year plus, doing very odd jobs, from being an insurance agent to being magicians for kids parties and all those, a lot of weird odd jobs. Anything can earn us $1 or $2, we will most probably be in. So after about saving 20,000 for a year plus minus, we ventured out into our own business. So at that time I was about 20 years old, Debbie was about 18 years old. When I first started that, I actually dropped off from college, okay? I was in a psychology field, so and then Debbie was waiting for SPM result, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So at that time, I didn't know what I want to do in my life, but I just knew that I know college, university isn't for me. So when I first met her, like love at first sight. Okay, love is blind, and then I was blinded. Like that, right? So we worked hard, and at some point in time, I thought that, hey, I might not be very academically bright up here, but I'm very blessed to have 2 hands and 2 legs, and therefore I wanted to create something that was our own, okay, that we can own it, and I can take care of her for the rest of her life. I was really thinking like 10-20 years ahead of time, and even though it was like a couple months of just dating, I would say I told myself I'm going to marry her. That was the idea behind it lah.
其实一开始呢，我是没有说对未来有什么打算，因为传统的教育下来呢，我们 after SPM 都是就准备要去大学啊，这样子嘛，对不对？当时他就告诉我他要去创业了，然后我那时候也没有想太多，那时候很天真，还小嘛，也不会想，然后就跟着他我们就去冲了咯。我是纯粹是支持他去创业的。
那是18岁卜卜吹，还是什么都不知道啊，跟我一样啊，就给我骗走啊！现在。
But I'm curious, how was your family reactions? I mean, like you dropped off from college, and then you wanted to do something like out of the ordinary path, lah. Let us say that. So, what was your family's reactions?
I guess in their perspective, they are not wrong. Long story short, it was not okay for them. They didn't give the hey, just go ahead. They were like, no. So I said, why? Then they said, you could have finished your college, finish your university, and do whatever you like. But I was thinking that 4 years is a heck of a long time, and I could do a lot of things in 4 years. Although I don't know what to do now, but at least I'm going out, getting some inspiration. So I guess both of our parents, okay, they just think that because of their experience, probably because both of us are not from a very rich family, so they work very hard to be where they are today. So they didn't want us to go through that, and they try to like tell us, hey, 不要这样子, don't like this, you have to finish your education, and you're like, no, this is not for me, I'm not going to live the life that you want. And we did what we want, and slowly but surely we made them feel more at ease. Ultimately, parents, they love us, they just need that assurance to say that, hey, my kid's doing really well, and he's not stealing, he's not lying, and he's earning an honest living. And yeah, that's what they want ultimately, and that's what we gave them in the assurance part. But hers was different. She's a straight A student.
What?
So very smart here, and there's a lot of sponsorship from a lot of university, and she said no to them.
我爸爸没有什么管我们的，可是我妈妈是非常的反对。当时其实是在我们要去创业之前，当时刚刚 Joseph 有提到，我们是有去做一些工作，做一些销售，然后甚至做魔术师。然后在那个时候，我妈妈已经是很反对了，因为我们去做那个销售的时候，其实是要去跟一个团队住在一个家里。 所以是蛮dedicated 的，就是要投入蛮多，然后
父母也担心，那时
对
有差不多15-20个人住一个很小的 condo， 差不多这里这样的 size 吧。单客厅就已经10个男生在那边睡了，所以是一个
对。
如果我是父母，我可能也会担心我孩子，你知道，so understandable 的。
对，那时候我就告诉他说，妈咪，你给我 try 1年，如果我不成功的话，那我还可以去读书嘛？你给我一个机会去做我想要做的东西，这样子，也是吵了几次过后，他看我蛮坚定的，然后他就支持我了。虽然他一开始不支持我们创业，可是我们当时候去摆 booth 的时候啊，他有载我们的，就是他有时候也会送饭给我们吃。
就是好像口头上是觉得不支持，可是行动上他还是默默的去 back up 你们。Parents love is like that, yeah,
Asian parents, they say you're useless, but they love you.
I know that you wanted to start something, but why peanut butter? And then some more I learned from the many interviews that you've done, you're actually not good at cooking at all. You don't know the skill at all.
So, you look at my body, you know I'm a foodie lah, definitely. I got a lot of spare tire, very big one, 19-inch wheel here. Okay, so the thing is this one, when we first started, we need like 20,000 in capital. So we were thinking, hey, 20,000, what can I do? Restaurant, okay, out of the question, 4 months deposit, 5 months deposit, right? Renovation, this, that, 20,000, not enough. I borrowed from Along also, probably I cannot get money from Along, too young at the time. So we were thinking of something that, along the line that we can utilize this very, very small amount of capital and it solves some problem in the society. So then we go and think, okay, we want to do food, okay, because everyone got to eat, and that is one of the easiest way to go in. No doubt there's some challenges. So we were thinking, hey, when we were shopping in the grocery, hey, about 10, 20, 30 years ago was the industrial age, okay, everything was mass produced. And when it's mass produced, what does it mean? Wastage, because food go bad ultimately when you do a lot and it doesn't sell in time, right? So businessmen at that point of time was very, very smart. They say, I'm going to put preservative in, and probably at that time they didn't know the risks and side effects of those stuff, right? And many people were like, okay, I think it's probably safe, I'm going to eat it. But now it's the industry, it's the IT age, information technology age. People are getting smarter, they can Google everything, it's more accessible, it's more transparent, and we now know those side effects of those additives. So we wanted to change the game and say, hey, last time preservative, now let's not do it. Okay, we want to give Malaysians a better diet in a way. So we then researched what product has very low wastage, because we don't like to waste food, what is very nutritious and doesn't need a lot of education. Okay, and then we thought, hey, peanut butter, okay, because it has a lot of nutrient, and one of the articles on how to escape a zombie apocalypse and survive it is to get a lot of those long preserving food, like dry nuts, canned food, and one of them was actually peanut butter, because give you protein, maybe you can run faster. Okay, so that's why I wanted to do peanut butter, and it was really in a way easy to make, at the same time not easy. Why easy? Because there's only like 1 to 3 ingredients. Okay, peanut, sugar, salt, that's all. But in that 3 ingredients, there's a whole new world of making it taste wonderful, so that's why we wanted to do that. It was challenging and simple at the same time, so we don't need to tell people, hey, do you know what's peanut butter? Obviously they know what's peanut butter, but how do we bring that new age? How do we tell them, hey, this is the Malaysian taste, this is what Jobbie is? That was the new exciting challenge, bringing old school product with a new school way of delivering results, marketing, packaging.
I see, but it still go to peanut butter, because when it comes to peanut butter, before I know about a little about Jobbie, it's always I will choose the
Lady's choice.
Lady's choice is like the cheaper one, and then we will go for 外国的牌子. That's it. So were you like, did you ever think about that? Hey, how am I going to compete with them? With all this, Lady's Choice is a very strong brand. Come on, and then with the price also, and then for overseas brand, obviously they famous because they are overseas.
Yes.
So did you have any concern about that? Did you even think of that part when you jump into this?
I think both of us were very naive. I was 20, she was 18.
一开始的时候是比较天真，没有想太多。
没有想太多，就直接做就是了。
对，我们是在做的过程，然后慢慢去研究，慢慢去学更多。
So all those really smart MBA type of thesis and knowledge wasn't in our mind. It was like, I'm young, I'm going to conquer the world right now, correct or not, Debbie? So we're going to conquer the world, and we didn't know what business model is, we didn't know what acquisition cost is, we didn't know the ratio of this and that, the golden triangle, whatever are those things. And now we know, wow, it's a scary word, because Skippy actually have their own peanut farm. That's why their cost is low. It's not to say their quality is bad, They have been making peanut butter since forever, before I was even wearing diapers also. So they are good because they are good, not because they are bad. But we do know what is our USP, a unique selling point. We're doing all natural, so we're not fighting against them, but we are in our own ball game. So it didn't cross our mind until up to now, probably.
Okay.
up to recently.
Okay,
so
see.
it pays to be naive at some point of time. Ignorance is a bliss, but cannot stay ignorant forever.
Can you share with us, like some of the challenges you encountered during the early days?
因为是小批做嘛，那要去找供应商，他们都不会理我们，因为我们没有量给他们，他们给不到我们好的价钱，然后也会各种看不起啊，这样子。然后如果说是第一批花生酱出来的味道是怎样呢？就是
Because you learn from YouTube, isn't it?
Okay, let me tell you a story from long time ago. When we first make peanut butter, it was, and I'm being very polite to myself already lah.
Okay.
It was very bad because we didn't know how we can barely survive making Maggie, and this is something that we've now done. So at first, we didn't know we had to how to clean the peanut butter and all not, and we soaked those peanuts in water, and you cannot cook wet peanuts, and it turned burnt. So we didn't know. We thought like, oh, okay, it looks okay, because every day you look at it, you don't look at other peanut butter, you think it's okay because 麻木啊那个眼睛. So then we went and sell this burnt peanut butter to some aunties because we were selling at bazaars, and then we were selling in front of a toilet. So it smells like shit in the area, and it tastes like shit with our peanut butter. So it's like double whammy, double kill us, Then the auntie's like, wait, how can you sell this? You want me to end up in the hospital or something? Is it? We know our objective. What was it? We want to go bazaar. We want to find two types of people. We want to look for auntie that probably has no filter and call you for whatever you really are. And we want to meet businessmen to teach us how to do business. So then a lot of trials and errors, and we have like towers and towers of failed products, And Debbie was like, wow, this is like taller than me, this tower. Every day when we came home, because it was a home-based business, wow, this is like taller than me. So, it was definitely fun, no doubt. It was very chaotic, but I guess we enjoy it, and we learned to embrace the chaos and the rejection, and it became who we are today. So yeah, it's a blessing in disguise.
为什么我们会选在厕所前面的位置嘞？也是因为那是最便宜的一个单位。
Because you cannot find 60 ringgit booth a day at that point of time in a major mall. We were in Times Square, and I remember very well. I went there with a backpack. Okay, asked the boss. Hey boss, I need a booth. How much does it cost? So he blurted out a three-figure rent for me and said, I don't have that kind of money. Can you give me something cheaper? Then it's like, up to the end. Toilet there. 最差的. And I said, I'll take it. Challenge accepted. And then it really helped us because it lowered our costs and we
I think more people will pass by, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. Everyone need to go toilet at some point of time. Then we can sell to them and say, this is the great peanut butter.
I like your spirit, okay?
我觉得还有一个 challenge 在我们早期的时候，就是因为我们是情侣嘛，然后这个是创业嘛，情侣间的互动跟生意上要有的一些 dealings 会不一样嘛，然后我们就会一开始还不够了解对方的时候会 mix。然后就会有很多的争吵，到了一个阶段，我们是分过手1天的，1天不了，因为那时候家人反对，然后sales 做不好，然后东西又不好吃，然后我们又住在一个很狭窄的家里面，家里面全部都是货，然后我们又要在同样的家住，同样的家做货， 然后一天下来其实是心灵上跟身体上都是很累的，然后也会忽略大家的感受，因为我们都在想着办法可以怎样把这个生意做起来嘛。所以当时候过了很多的磨合，然后情侣间呢，一开始拍拖呢，跟真的是住在一起呢又很不一样的哦，因为住在一起就会把所有的缺点都暴露出来，然后我是很庆幸当时我们可以过了那个关，然后就更加了解彼此。
I learned that because when you first started peanut butter, it was called walao
Yes. When we first started,
Where did the idea come from?
okay, it was a cheap publicity lah, because walao then it's like a very Malaysian thing. So we were hoping, because we have a small banner, I think around this size, right? Yeah. So we were hoping that when we put walao, people, oh, walao will stop by, then they see lah. So after that, we met an executive that once sold his company to Sony. So he taught us a lot of great skills, and he said, hey, you guys need to be international. And he taught us some skill on packaging, so we then went to something more internationally known. So that's why when we first started Jobbie, people thought it wasn't from Malaysia. They thought it was something like from Australia or from the West, because it sounds very angmoh, very atas. So yeah, walao was then buried away, and then Jobbie was born.
I see. And then Jobbie was like officially born in
2015. Yeah, because we were at my IPO, which is the place that we registered for trademark. Okay, so in trademark, for those who don't know, you cannot register names that has meaning. So you cannot be like nuttilicious, because there's delicious there. So you must make a name out of non-meaning word, if you get what I mean. So then we joke and say, hey, if we have a son, let's call it Jobbie, like Joseph and Debbie. And we have a daughter, we call it Desaf previously, before that event. So then we say, okay, since this peanut butter originally was my idea, why not we call it Jobbie? And one day, if you have your own baby, which is a new business of your own, we'll call it Desaf, which we had it's a side hustle of ours. Small one, but this one is our main goal for now. So that's why we call it Jobbie.
Unlike some other SMEs, they only currently move to online business during the MCO, right? But Jobbie, I learned that even before you already moved online.
Yes.
What was the push back then? Because that time I don't think that online selling food especially 还没有这样普遍的。Some more packed in glass jar, fragile, and then something like that. So why do you have the idea to move to online even back then?
Okay, when we first started, the first 6 months we were in a bazaar. After 6 months, our wings were hardened and we wanted to fly. So we went to places like cafes, restaurants to consign our product too. Means they don't pay until it's being sold. So after a period of time, I got into an accident because I fell asleep. So it was like Fast and Furious 8. I banged the wall and I lost my car and I lost my leg almost. So I was bedridden and the doctor said I had to rest for about 1 to 2 months. And I was like, no, I cannot rest 1 to 2 months. I have bills to pay, I have suppliers to pay, this and that. So wholesale was something that would probably take us a month or 2 to collect payment. We need cash upfront urgently because I have to pay those bills and medical bills and whatnot. So we said, what is the fastest way we can make a turnover from our stock to cash? So then we thought, let's deal direct with the consumers, because now we're going to the wholesalers, it's through a middleman. But if we go to people like Jenny, we go to Samantha, straight away, hey Jenny, give me 20 bucks, this is my peanut butter. And Jenny will pay me 20 bucks. So we went directly to Jenny, and it was very, very Stone Age at the time. We just did a post and say, hey, buy our peanut butter now, we send to your house. Then it was the PM era. Everyone was like PM, although it's illegal now. Okay, so please don't do it if you guys are looking at this. But it works. So it went viral real quick. People was like, peanut butter sell online, can me, want to try or not? Try lor, okay lor, then we send lor. So I was on a tongkak with my wife, and then we hired some friends to be our driver for the day. And I remember wrecking his car because the stock was too heavy, so his bumper came off also. And yeah, we were on a bump and his bumper came off. And we sent all over the place. At that point of time, me and her, we were replying PMs day on day with no rest. I was replying in the morning, she was replying at the night. So while we were replying, she was peeling the peanut nuts, the peanut skins, roasting peanuts. I was replying, while I was grinding peanuts, and it was day on day, and we could not sleep. And then, inspiration came. MLM, how to make money in your sleep and be a billionaire. And then, okay, not a bad idea. And I took it the wrong way lah. I said, let's create a website, then we can create money while we are sleeping. Then will we be a billionaire? But we did not be a billionaire, but at least we had sleep right now. So we created a website, www.jobbienutbutter.com, and the cost was so low,
And that was 2000.
I think 2016,
Yeah,
around that.
16, around that.
So we created our first website, I think with 20 ringgit, and it's just everything is just copy and paste, snap from photo, put in your website, and we began selling nationwide. At first, just Klang Valley, because we cannot drive to Johor, obviously. So after that, nationwide the orders were pouring in like crazy, So that's how the website began. A lot of people didn't know, but we started offline, but then we went to online. And now we are both. Now we are 50% online, 50% offline. We supply to places like Eon, Jaya Grocer, Village Grocer, and nationwide with Singapore orders also lah.
When you first tried to sell online and then you have to go through the courier, the delivery, have you ever concerned about the shipment?
So at first, we were wrapping with bubble wrap, and our damage rate was about 20%. So for every 10 parcels that go out, 2 will come back to us in glasses. So we were innovating, we were wrapping 1 layer, 2 layers, 4 layers. It still broke, and we innovate again and again. We customize our boxes to be thicker, we use newer technology. Ultimately, now our damage rate is below 1%, so it's 0 point something. Yeah, so a lot of innovation, a lot of back and forth, scolding the supplier and being scolded by the supplier.
When did you start to have proper teammates to join you?
2019.
Yeah, 2016 is more like hiring part-timers, grinding the nuts, doing some packaging. But it's really until 2019 where we hired our first CEO to help us run our company. And after that, we had investors coming in, we had more teammates coming in. So right now we are a strong 8-person team. We heavily hired more people starting in 2020 lah.
Why did you make the decision to hire a CEO?
Basically, I have this school of thought. If you're not good at something, let someone do it lah. Okay, no doubt you see me being happy and all this. I suck at running a business, honestly. So if you suck at something, don't do it lah. So rely on people around you. And I told my now partner and CEO and say, hey, I know how to make good peanut butter. I probably don't know how to run a business. So you want to join us and help run the business? And you'll be the brains of Jobbie. I'll be the heart of Jobbie. So he handles the logical part, the business making, the deal, the investments, the money stuff. And I handle what's cool, what's next, like you saw the recent product we have, the green pre-spread, the Macau hijau. So these are all me, and those like Eon, Village Mall, Grocer, all this, those are him. So we segregate our job very well. So I don't want to be a business founder, entrepreneur that says, I'm going to be Superman, we're going to do this ourselves to the end. I want to be someone and aspire to someone who says, hey, we had a common dream, let's move together. And I'll bring in those people that have the same dream together and say, hey, we want to be Asians #1 together, let's go together. And then it's very fun, when you work together with people like that. So that's why the new CEO came in.
其实这个也是很有缘分啦，因为我们是通过一个我们批发区的一个 cafe 的那个 owner， 他认识这个 CEO，then 他就看到我们一个广告，那个广告呢是一个用 peanut butter 剃脚毛的广告。然后很久以前，他剃他的脚毛。
Understand why people look at me that way when I say that.
然后那个 CEO Victor 他就觉得，哎，怎么这样奇怪的？他们会用 peanut butter 剃脚毛，这样搞笑。然后peanut butter 在 online 卖可以咩？然后他就通过那个 cafe 来联系到我们咯。通过几次的聊天过后，他就也是对我们有兴趣，他很乐意的分享，他教我们一些生意上的一些 知识啊，
他也没有
教我
收钱，就很乐意
对
一直
他
教我们，贵人来的。
贵人哦，
我们是很有缘分，可以
哦
就也是很感恩可以遇到他。他也是为了我们放弃了一些更好的机会，然后来陪我们一起 grow 这个 business 这样子哦。
No, I'm allergic to peanuts actually. No, just joking. But I am allergic to peanuts.
No country beats Malaysia when it comes to food.
We got your eyes, Singapore.
Ui!
Okay, let's go. Story time.